fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador. Select Plumbing. Jimmy John's. Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits. Fleet Feet. Yours Cheese Spread. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. From the playing fields to the sidelines. From Florida to California. From the Big 12 to the Big 10. Welcome to the wide world of Raff. Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chris Raff.
All right, everybody. We are back again. This is the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. We're coming to you a little bit early this week, but heck, we had to get here. So, Harrison, just lay it on me now.
I won last week. Given if we look at the full depth of the season, we haven't necessarily been keeping track. But at least this week, I know for sure I won this week. If I'm gonna pull up the actual numbers here, I know I texted you immediately after Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So I would win last week's picks. I was 8 for 5, and Raff goes 4 for 9.
Yeah. Well, in my defense, there were a lot of close games that I thought could go my way, but stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some refereeing I thought was a little,
Say that about every week.
Some
though.
field goal kickers that were like, and there was just a lot of, but I will concede to you. You are the football picking champion for week 7. Congratulations. It was a great showing out of you. I knew I was in trouble. The Thursday night game, I think that was one that.
Yeah, that was one where that was pretty close. It was Jaguars and Saints.
Yep.
Saints kind of felt like they pissed it down their leg a little bit.
Was it Fabian Moreau or Mr. Moreau, the tight end? I know that was, I looked at that and I was like, oh, this could be a sign of my weekend.
And Chris Olave still refuses to run his routes all the way through.
Yeah. At least he's fast, I guess.
Yeah. It doesn't matter when you're slowing down though.
Yeah. So
but
now
he's out for a while now as well though.
I gave it all I had, and I fell, and I can accept defeat.
The proudest pick I do have, though, was I did pick the Ravens to beat the Lions, and purely for the fact, not that I thought the Ravens were better, but I talked about it. If you are the storyline going into that week, it has just turned out poorly, and I will keep picking that
and
over and over again.
To fall.
Continue
to fall.
So, I mean, when we get to that, who was the storyline this week? What game? Which team would you
I'd say the storyline now is the Chiefs. I mean, they're America's sweethearts, Taylor Swift for life.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I'd say the Chiefs are America's sweetheart now. I think they're probably the top team in the NFL. The power of Taylor Swift is powering this team. But like I said, I wait for Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes, and Jackson Mahomes to get into a big rift, and that'll be the end of the Chiefs.
I think they have a bye week though, so I can't pick against them.
Oh no, they do not have a bye week.
Am I missing them here? Oh my! I don't know if I could. I might have to keep to my word here. But
boy, yeah.
No, I'm gonna zag on it because then we can just.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there at the end of the show. I'll give you some time to think on it.
Yeah.
So all right, so we'll get to picking this week, and I kind of think that you just wanted to have the show on Tuesday just so you could get me in here and just let me know what
I did want to see you in person.
Amazing week that you did have.
I'm the young Bill Belichick, and you're the old, as you stated earlier.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. First game of the week. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo. A 7:15 kickoff. Buccaneers and Bills. Harrison.
Buccaneers are the one team that definitely disappointed me last week. It was close, but give me the Bills.
All right, going with the Bills. My selection is the Buffalo Bills also. I'm not going to copy all your picks this week, but I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills. Had a team meeting called by quarterback Josh Allen and outside linebacker Von Miller to basically air their grievances and get everything out on the table. So I'm thinking the Bills on Thursday night start to make a little bit of a run. But the one thing I will say about Von Miller is he needs to get in those games and start producing. They got to the point last week and he wasn't even in the game. I believe it was Leonard Floyd, was their pressure guy. So Von Miller is going to have to start making a difference here soon. So I'm going with Buffalo Bills also. Josh Allen, Thursday night. Let's go. Bills.
Yeah, and the Baker Mayfield experiment for me is starting to run to its end.
Yeah, they're 3-3. I mean, they
just
get
a roller coaster though.
They get a win. Oh yeah, that's pretty much the NFL Baker experience.
Yeah.
I mean, look at when he played for the Browns.
Yeah.
Got on a roll, then he went on a slump. Got on a roll, then went on a slump. But I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen. I think they start putting something together, and it's crazy. I mean, they lose. They're 4-4. They're a 500 football team, and you would not have seen that halfway through the football season. So I'm going with the Bills also. All right, we'll move on. At noon, we have got the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins on CBS at 12 o'clock. Patriots and Dolphins. Patriots coming off their second win of the season, while the Dolphins ended up losing in Philadelphia. There were a lot of calls in that Philadelphia game. I've heard that their coach, Mike McDaniel, sent in a ton of film to the NFL showing blown calls, mistakes by the referees. So you got the Patriots at Dolphins, noon o'clock on Sunday, CBS.
You know, even though the Dolphins, it was the final score, what was it? I think it was like 31 to...
I think they won by 14.
31 to 17 was the final. I actually don't think the Dolphins looked horrible. I didn't think they looked that bad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one. Not just because it's the Patriots. Even if it was, a team in the middle, I'd still go with the Dolphins. Waddle in the middle of the game, back spasms, took him out. And then you're kind of just, when you lose Waddle, it just really leaves Tyreek Hill to be like one of the guys. You just got to stop him. But when you have Tyreek Hill and Waddle both healthy, one's clearing out, you just got to hit Waddle and slants. But honestly, I thought they looked good. The run game was tough to get going for him, but I'm not going to panic on them either. Give me the Dolphins. Tua still looks like a great quarterback.
Yep. I'm not going to differ again with you. I mean, we could go the same record this week, but we won't. I'm going with the Dolphins also. I think that, coming off a loss, they're going to be, a team that's, they always say like a hurt, injured animal, more dangerous. So I think the Dolphins are going to be dangerous. The Patriots, I don't know if it was so much the Patriots winning or the Bills just not playing that good. Still not impressed, totally with the Patriots. I'm not sure. I don't think they're that team. The Dolphins, like you said, if they get Waddle back, you got Waddle, you got Hill.
Yeah, and he'll be back. He just had back spasms. He was back in the game. He was just kind of in and out. So I'd imagine he'll be good to go.
And then it's, I would guess it probably two more weeks until Ashawn returns.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So probably 2 more weeks till they get him back, but they got Mostert. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins also. Dolphins, noon o'clock, CBS, Dolphins in Miami.
Yeah, and they've shown when it's not a great team, they'll beat up on them.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think it'll be Dolphin. It'll be pretty close. But then I've said that before, and next thing you know, they're kicking a field goal and missing it and losing the game. But I'm going with the Dolphins. All right, this next game, this is an interesting game. 12 o'clock CBS, the battle for New York. The New York Football Jets versus the New York Football Giants. 12 o'clock CBS, Jets versus Giants.
This one's a head scratcher. I'm not gonna lie. Give me the Jets.
You're going with the Jets.
Yeah, give me the Jets. I think that's a defense that can actually handle very limited Giants offense. They were able to kind of stalwart the Bills, but it's kind of looking like the Bills were just in a bad spot. I mean, they'd lose to the Patriots soon after. So I don't know how much credit I should really give to them beating up on a Bills team that's just really down and out right now. I'm going to take the Jets. Not
the Jets.
Yeah,
Right.
I like their defense. I think their offense can do just enough. It's going to be a close one. I'd imagine this is won by a field goal or a touchdown, but give me the Jets.
All right. I think coming into the show, I was selecting the Jets, but I wasn't like completely sold on the Jets.
You should be.
I'm going to go with the Giants. The Giants. Saquon Barkley, the Giants.
Okay.
Because they're coming off a win.
Yeah. They just beat the Commanders 14-7.
Yeah. I mean, it was a commanding win. I mean, a lot of points.
Commanding win in time of possession.
Commanding win, time of possession. I'm going with the Giants. Technically, this is a New York Giants home game, even though they both play at the same stadium. But I'm going with the Giants. Saquon Barkley, don't let me down. Defense, don't let me down. Giants.
I feel like they're kind of impasse of, what's the end season goal here? The Jets, it's still very obvious you need to win every single game to get into that playoff picture. If you're the Giants, let me check real quick where they're even sitting in the standings.
They're 2-5 right now, so they're close to the bottom, I'd guess.
Yeah, they're at the very bottom, 2-5. So there's just not necessarily a lot on the line. Saquon Barkley's got his money.
Well, this is the kicker, though. If the Giants lose this game, there's a good possibility that Saquon Barkley goes on the trade block. I mean, I know he's got a huge contract. I don't know who would be the taker in that.
Someone definitely would.
But you definitely think if the Giants go 2-6, that, they're in the same spot as the Broncos basically are, that people are going to start calling wanting your players. So I'm going with the Giants to keep their season alive. What's left of it, I'm going with the Giants. So Giants over the Jets. You're taking the Jets over the Giants. So
yep, I think that has to be one of the most fun games to watch. Not high scoring, but interesting. Two really good defenses at the very least going at it.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting game. It would be a fun game to watch, I think, just being inner city and all that. But
might be Iowa, Wisconsin-esque playing the field position, but sometimes those can be the craziest finishes as we've seen over and over again.
Exactly. So I'm going to go Giants. You're going Jets. All right. We'll move on to the next game. It's 12 o'clock. It's on CBS. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. in Pittsburgh.
I know.
Was it Accentra Field now? I just still call it Heinz
Yeah,
Field.
it's Heinz to me.
AD's like it's Heinz Field. Like Heinz Field, even though it's not. But Accenture, maybe it's Accenture. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm going, well, no, I'll let you go first.
Okay, is that a tactic there, or is this just how we normally do it?
Well, no, I mean, I can take who I'm going to take. You can take. I know who I'm going to select.
Yeah, okay. Steelers surprised me with the win last week, but I'm still taking the Jaguars.
You're still taking the Jags.
Yep, give me the Jaguars. I
All
think
right.
Offensively, they're still getting it together, and they become, to me, that's a team that every week they get more dangerous.
All right. So last week, Chris Raff selected the Rams over the Steelers, and I let down AD. I did not choose the Steelers.
Do it again.
Now think of it this way. Sometimes I pick and I curse the team. So I'm kind of in a bind right now. Do I go with the Jaguars or do I select the Steelers? It's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense is pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like there was a bit of a heartbeat for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're 4-2. It's coming around, and Kenny Pickett, I still don't know what his ceiling is, but he's better than a lot of other quarterbacks out there right now.
And you got Najee, who played a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Warren. You got Pickens. Get out the yellow, terrible towel and start rolling it. Chris Raff selects the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steel City, baby.
Well, you made AD's day, at the very least.
Yeah, or I did not. Now he's sitting there going, why did he just select the Steelers?
Is it well known on the drive? Like, if you call a team to win, it's kind of a curse?
I noticed it. I mean, I picked the Broncos an awful lot. They lose a lot.
But you probably picked them when they won the Super Bowls.
But so. I picked Nebraska. So last year, I started picking against Nebraska, and they won a couple games.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll just keep on. And everybody be like, why are you picking against Nebraska? And I'm like, I want Nebraska to win, but I'm picking against them just so they'll win. But then this year, I've been pretty deep. I mean, I've been picking Nebraska every week, the last 4 weeks, and it's been working for the most part. But I have been wearing my lucky sweatpants. My lucky sweatpants are 3-1.
That's probably why. I think I did hear Matt Rule give you some credit.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Chris Raff for keeping his lucky sweatpants on during the game.
Yeah.
Couldn't get those wins.
I got to believe Coach Rule and the staff are like, Raff better have his lucky sweatpants on. So it's going to be interesting this Saturday because I'm going to be in Austin. So do I take the lucky sweatpants and wear them? I mean, it could be hot down there, but it could be a victory.
Yeah, you got to do it. I think you still
take the lucky sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a lucky red shirt back in the 90s that I wore, and that shirt was pretty much undefeated.
Where'd it go? Are you the reason?
It got holy, I think, and I had to throw it away. Yeah, I think, people think it was Coach Osborne and the players, but it probably was my red shirt.
I do love it. If you've seen that State Farm commercial with the lucky chair.
Lucky chair.
That's what I'm thinking of right now. And Travis Kelce's there. And shout out Mike for always sitting in his lucky chair.
Yeah, superstitions. I try to let go of most of my superstitions, but
I lost mine a while ago when the Bears lost, no matter what I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this isn't me. This is the Bears' problem.
It's all about the sweatpants now. If I have a chance to wear those sweatpants, I'm wearing them. Plus, they're very comfortable. And I buy them in bulk. So I got 4 pairs of them. So
it's the way to do it. That's a real man right
there.
A
lot of people are always like,
in bulk.
You wear the same sweatpants every day. I do, but I don't. They are different.
I'm the same way. My fashion sense is like, I'll go to Walmart and I'll be like, damn, I can get 4 shirts in one.
Yeah.
That's a deal to me.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily breaking down.
So you're like the PPC.
Yeah.
Price per clothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Nick, PPB, price per bite. So yeah, that's why I look at it too. If I have a chance to get more, I'm going more. So, all right. So you're going Jags. I'm going Steelers.
Yep.
All right. We'll move on now. Another barn burner game at 12 o'clock on CBS. We got the Atlanta Falcons and Desmond Ridder versus the Titans of Tennessee. Falcons, Titans. I would assume Malik Willis is probably starting for the Titans, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
Don't think Tannehill's back yet.
Let me see if I can find a quick article on it.
Falcons, Desmond Ridder. NFL's kind of, had some words with the Falcons about Bijan Robinson because they didn't put him on the injury report. They didn't say nothing 2 hours before the game, and then come to find out he only, I think, touched the ball once, I think, on Sunday, and they said he was battling an illness, and the NFL was like, well, if he had an illness, shouldn't we have known prior to the illness? So I'm sure the Falcons will come back and be like, hey, it was right before the game. He got stage fright.
That's kind of
or
what I was thinking. Like sometimes it just happens. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can have those moments where they go into work and all of a sudden you're like sweating in the first hour. And like, something ain't right.
I've had that happen a couple times in my life.
And we do have pleasant. From On 3 9 hours ago, Will Levis will likely make NFL debut.
Will Levis.
Yeah, there's some news there.
So no Malik Willis. They're going straight to Will Levis.
So let me take back my pick here. I didn't announce it yet, but I'm going with the Falcons. I was going with the Titans. Didn't realize as well Will Levis is going to debut. I'm switching back. Give me the Falcons.
Darn it. I shouldn't have had you look anything up.
You shouldn't have.
Very upsetting.
I guess we can talk about Will Levis.
Have any Raff's Roadies texted in yet tonight?
No, but if you guys want to, Raff's Roadies, 402-464-5685. Make your picks, NFL hot takes, whatever it may be, as we're going through team to team. If you got an NFL hot take, we're obviously going to get to that team and that hot take at some point. So again, 402-464-5685. Raff's secretaries, Thunder Not Collins. He hasn't chimed in yet. He chimed in on the earlier shows.
Yeah, I saw that.
He also didn't know you're on the schedule. So this is the last minute.
We're surprising people. Surprising people. But that's all right, though. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I always tell the Raff's Roadies, it's all about a good time. If you ain't having a good time, can't be a Raff's Roadie. So
wait, where'd you go, though? Titans or Falcons?
Oh, I haven't selected yet.
Okay.
So you went Falcons?
Yeah, on the news of Will Levis having his debut.
Okay, so Falcons, Titans. All right. I think going into the game, I was picking the Falcons because I wasn't sure about the quarterbacking situation with the Titans. But I'm going with Will Levis, the rookie. I'm going with the Titans. Mike Vrabel, he's 2-4. They got to get a victory. They've got to keep their season alive. It's another team. If they don't win, look for Derrick Henry to possibly be on the trading block.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with the Titans. Roll Titans. And then hang on one second here. Yes. I believe, I could be wrong here. I might be wrong, actually. Are they wearing the old Houston Oilers uniforms this week?
I don't know if it's this week.
Or is it next week?
I want to say this.
I know it's coming up here, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm going with Will Levis. Will Levis and the Titans. King Henry, he's going to rush for over 150 yards, and he's going to have 2 rushing touchdowns. Going with the Titans and the former Love You Blue Houston Oilers.
Okay, Titans to wear Oilers throwback uniforms versus Atlanta. They will have
they're having the Love You Blue on?
Damn it, I should have picked the
Titans.
Hey.
Yeah.
My favorite story with the Titans
Houston Oilers.
How the owner moved the team.
Oh, yeah.
And then the colorway was so sick. And he's like, no, sorry about it.
Yep.
Took that away from him.
Yep.
And then you got the Titans. But it is cool to see him come back. We have Will Levis is going to ball out in his debut.
Yes.
I'm not even going to question it. There's a very good possibility because I did just watch Tyson Bagnet, the Chicago Bears, get an incredible win over the Raiders. But I will say,
did you see about his dad?
The arm wrestling bit?
Oh my gosh.
That guy is a comedian. If I've ever heard of one. If he's not in the comedian world, maybe you should try that on top of the arm wrestling.
The funniest thing ever is when he's like, step on up to the table, everybody. I mean, it reminded me so much of a modern day Bull Hurley. I was like, oh my gosh, it's over the top, revisited. And then he's like, I thought you would have been better. I was like, oh my gosh, this is classic.
Just the way, I mean, that'd be tough if you're the journalist. Who's with him? Do you know the name? I'm blanking on it.
Oh gosh. Was it Tom Pelissero?
It might have been.
Might have been Pelissero.
But maybe. Man, he stole the mic. He stole the camera. I mean, that just became his entire bit. And
I was like, oh my gosh, this is over the top. This could be the making of the next But then his son is so funny too. They asked him if he wasn't going to be an NFL quarterback, what he was going to do. He's like, oh yeah, I was going to do oh no, I forgot that exercise. Oh,
he was just going to work out at a gym.
I forgot what the name of it is.
Planet Fitness, maybe.
No, it's the one workout where you do a bunch of like box jumps and
CrossFit.
Yeah, kind of like
Pilates, something like that.
But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And just get jacked up. And I was like, okay. So,
he's definitely to the media selling himself as the guy.
yeah.
But it is interesting. We do have one from the text line here with a hot take from Couch. He said, well, I should say, he said lukewarm take. Atlanta wins the South.
Atlanta Falcons. I could see that. I could see it. I mean, the South's not really loaded. I mean, you got Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints.
Which is why it's a warm take, because they're already winning it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, I thought it was going to be the Saints, but just for whatever reason, that team's not clicking.
Yeah.
Derek Carr just seems incredibly frustrated.
Yeah, and they came out too, and they were looking at tape, and they're like, yeah, it's Carr that's kind of maybe the guy that's keeping them from winning. So now you got to be thinking, if you're the Saints, you got famous Jameis sitting back there. Do you get out famous Jameis?
Yes, do it.
Famous
Let
Jameis?
him play. Let him play. He's one of the most fun players to watch. Selfishly, let me see him.
He'll throw some interceptions.
Yeah.
He'll throw a lot of touchdowns. The return of famous Jameis Winston.
I mean, Winston, between the pregame speeches, the postgame speeches, the eating the W, like he's just entertainment. And if you're the Saints, let's be honest, probably going for the playoffs at best. Might as well just get the media in a frenzy. Get some extra money.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, their car, it's just not working out. I will say sometimes, I talked about before, he's yelling at Chris Olave. There's one time he yelled at Chris Olave, and I'm like, well, that thing sailed 15 yards out of bounds.
Yeah.
If he sprinted that route fully and followed the ball, he would have been in the bleachers.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. Yeah. He's just having a really rough year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they decide if they make that change or not. But we'll talk about that, I guess, when we get to the Saints game. So, all right. So you got the Falcons. I got the Titans.
Yep.
And the Love You Blue Houston Oilers uniforms. All right. So we throw it to break and then come on back. And
yeah, we can go to break right here, and then we'll finish out the second part of the picks on the next segment.
All right. Sounds good. We'll throw it to break. This is the Wide World of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is, just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody. We are back. This is the wide world of Raff. It is Tuesday night, coming to you a little bit early this week, but you always can make NFL picks Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, NFL days. Or as they'd say, happy days.
I mean, there's not a lot. If you think about it, we're already heading into
Thursday.
Week 8.
It's game on.
Of the NFL. Like, the NFL flies by way too fast.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good. We're still diving into it. We got plenty of weeks here left to kind of give our picks.
Yep.
One more from Crowbait, waiting for the 49ers Bengals pick after the Niners' last 2 games.
I'll be ready. I already know who I'm selecting, so when we get there, it'll be amazing. So
I'm always amazed how many 49ers fans there are around this area.
Okay, you know why?
Trying to think if there's like a correlation between Huskers.
There
imagine
is.
There's a strong correlation between a lot of former Huskers playing for the 49ers.
Okay, so a lot of like your probably 40-year-old guys, 40-year-old girls in that age period, back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, Roger Craig was the running back for the 49ers. And then the 49ers selected a tough fullback out of Nebraska, from Grand Island, Nebraska, Tom Rathman. So you had Rathman and Craig playing on the best team in the NFL for 4 or 5 years together. So that was a big attention grabber for Nebraska football fans.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, and I think it just continued after they retired. You still had, they were fans of that team back when Craig and Rathman were playing together, when Craig and Rathman were together and John Madden was on the call, no one loved Roger Craig and Tom Rathman more than John Madden. They were the all Madden team. If there was an all Madden team, it was Craig and Rathman, Craig and Rathman, Craig and Rathman. And that's why I go to this day. Roger Craig needs to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I bring it up a ton.
We looked at his stats once.
Yeah,
it's insane
that
he's not.
He has to be. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it was a system. I'm like, this system, he was the first of his kind.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're that person that breaks the mold, you need to be in the Hall of Fame. And if John Madden was still around, John Madden would be the first person, and he did. He said Roger Craig needs to be in the Hall of Fame before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But the NFL, they're on their own tangent. Sometimes you don't know what they're doing.
That'd be like being upset at Steph Curry winning the MVP when he had all those 3-pointers and just saying it's the system.
It's the system.
Someone needs to be the guy to break the system.
Michael Jordan only won championships because it was the triangle. It wasn't because he was good. They were running Phil Jackson's triangle offense.
All those years, the 15 years, the 6 rings, all those other years when he was winning Defense Player of the Year, leading league in points. No. It was a system.
But Rathman and Craig, they were the combo. And then the NFL had it back then where they were able to wear like stuff on their helmet. So above their helmet, we used to say like Riddell or Bike.
Oh, yeah.
They did wear Huskers over the
that's awesome.
On their 49ers.
Wouldn't be able to do that now. Can't even wear Husker on the sock anymore.
You'd be fine.
It's one of my biggest beefs with the NFL.
Yep.
Is how much they go great. We can go long on that though. Let's not dive into it. We got to get some picks yet.
No, that's all right. They love Husker talk. Okay, so we'll move on now. We've got the Houston Texans versus the 0-6 Carolina Panthers in Carolina at noon on Fox. Texans Panthers. Stroud versus is Bryce Young. Yeah, I think Bryce Young. He's still there. Not been hurt. Still playing.
Still playing.
Taking a beating, but he's playing. Stroud versus Young. 1 versus 2.
Texans.
I'm going Texans also.
I'm waiting for the Panthers. There's no way they don't win a game.
Yeah.
So this makes me feel like I wonder if this is a mistake here.
The game.
Yeah, if this is the game. But man, the Panthers were so bad.
Well, I'm just going Texans because every week I say DeMeco Ryans is a great coach. CJ Stroud's playing good. Texans are pesky. We've been saying that for 2 years now. On defense, they're pesky.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going with the Texans also. I just think they have a little too much firepower to go with the Panthers. But if the Panthers win, I will not be surprised one bit because like you said, I don't think they're going to go winless. So, but I'm going with Texans too. Texans, if they win, it rolls them up to 4-3, which I don't think there's many people out there that thought the Texans were going to be 4-3 after 7 weeks. So, or 8 weeks. So I'm going Texans also. Texans.
All right. So we've only disagreed 3 times and agreed.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Actually, no, we've disagreed. Yeah. 3 times. Agreed 3 times as well.
All right. We'll move on to the next game. Another game at 12 o'clock, which is kind of surprising because usually the games in Dallas are like a 3 o'clock kickoff for the most part. But I could be wrong on that too. It just feels like they're always playing at 3. But we got the Los Angeles Rams and Matt Stafford versus the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. The Cowboys are back on track. The Rams struggled mightily. Or no, the Rams won.
No, the Rams lost.
The Rams lost, but Pakua had a ton of catches and yards.
Yeah, didn't need that. I had Cooper Kupp on my fantasy
Yeah, so
team.
did I.
Lucky I barely got that win.
Fail. All right, so you got the Rams and Stafford versus the Cowboys and Prescott in Dallas, in Big D, at Jerry World. Harrison, what do you do
Unfortunately,
here?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, not because I think Dak Prescott is, an amazing quarterback, but I really think the Rams are struggling right now.
Yeah.
They're really having I thought when Cooper Kupp came back, because he popped off immediately that
He
first
did.
game.
He had 2 good games.
And so maybe I am overreacting a little bit to them losing last week, but it just kind of feels like they're still a little bit discombobulated, and the Cowboys feel like they're just trying to prove the world over and over and over again every week.
All right. I am going to go with the oh boy, this is a tough one.
Even when the Cowboys are winning a lot, you're still scared to pick them.
I know. I'm always scared to pick them. I am going to take the Cowboys also. It's hard for me to pick them. Sorry, Pete. It's hard for me to pick the Cowboys, but it's at home. And like you said, the Rams just seem a little bit, I don't know, like even Pakua.
It's
Pakua.
4 letters, 3 syllables. Pakua. But no, I might be saying that.
Even though he had a huge game last week, like you said, Cooper wasn't there. It was either one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, I look for Pollard to have a breakout game. Micah Parsons doing his stuff. I'm going with the Cowboys. I've talked myself into it. Dallas Cowboys over the Rams. Cowboys over the Rams.
On one game, as always, prove me wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong when it's Cowboys.
Yeah, and I'm okay. If the Rams win, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Pete. As we apologize to him.
He doesn't need it. I mean, he's a Cowboys fan for life.
Yeah.
The amount of heckling, he's probably got thick skin.
He's scorned.
He's got that rhino skin.
They're going to find a way to choke it some way, somehow. I mean, as long as Jerry Jones is there, should have never got rid of Jimmy Johnson.
The best analogy of the Cowboys is just a treadmill that never stops. They've been running on that treadmill forever.
Should have never got rid of Jimmy Johnson. That was
Nope.
the biggest mistake in the history of Dallas Cowboys football.
Sent them to mediocrity for years.
I know people will be like, well, Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, he walked into, you saw what happened the year after they won the Super Bowl. So yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys. All right, we'll move on. 12 o'clock from Lambeau Field, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. You've got Cousins versus Love. Cousins versus Love.
Give me Kirk Chains. They were looking frisky. Kind of, gutsy win. Beat the 49ers. Maybe they're on a little bit of a downhill spill right now. Brock Purdy. They did have a chance to win it, and Brock Purdy played rough. But still, I give credit to the defense because they'll slow that team down as much as they did. I think the Vikings are kind of finally gathering their identity a little bit, trying to make a push. Yeah, they're looking at the Lions just getting blown out by the Eagles. They're like, okay, we can make a push here. I don't think the Vikings are laying down anytime soon. I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my view of this. At Lambeau Field, Jordan Love is either next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. Not looking like that, but you really don't know because he just does not. I mean, Romeo Doubs, he's a number 2 receiver. He's not a number 1. The Vikings. Now, this is a scary pick for me because I'm going with the Vikings also.
Okay.
But they kind of are like that darling team right now after Monday night. Like I've heard so many people come up to me and say, Kirk Cousins that's the best football I've ever seen Kirk Cousins play, which I will say Kirk Cousins in the pocket, some of the throws he made standing in the pocket were pretty miraculous. I mean, he showed a lot of pocket presence and just keeping his head downfield and like, hey, I'm going to get hit, but I'm going to deliver the football. So it scares me a little bit. All the people that have told me how great the Vikings are, but I'm going with the Vikings also. Kirk Cousins, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, and even
KJ Osborne had a pretty good game last week.
Cam Akers even got a few carries too. So I'm going with the Vikings too. The Vikings at Lambeau. It doesn't happen that often. Definitely did not happen much when Aaron Rodgers was around. But
I'm not going to overreact. Like if they're playing the Dolphins, there's no way in hell I'm picking the Vikings.
Yeah, me neither.
But a Packers team, it's.
And I got to say too, the Broncos beat the Packers, and I don't know how good the Broncos are right now. It scares me so much. I don't know what to think with the Broncos. I mean, they could have put that game out of reach in the first half. They had 3 possessions inside the red zone, 3 field goals. I'm like sitting there going, what is going on here?
My biggest, I think, epiphany with the Denver Broncos, as much as it surprises me, at least when it comes to playing the game.
Yeah.
It's not Russell Wilson. I don't think he's the problem.
Yeah.
You can argue maybe there's a leadership thing that he's lacking, but as far as like performance-wise, they're starting to catch on to comparing the Mahomes and Russell Wilson numbers. It is a little outrageous to me that Mahomes is kind of in that MVP race again.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's not necessarily having that kind of year that he's had in the past, where I think it's just that cut and dry.
Yep. All right, we'll move on. Next game, the New Orleans Saints versus the Colts, Indianapolis. At Indianapolis at noon, Saints versus Colts. You have Carr, who we think is playing basically for his job right now, and going against Minshew Mania, Mr. Minshew Mania, who played great last week. They weren't able to pull it off at the end there, but Saints and Colts, Indianapolis.
I feel like this is probably going to be one of the tougher games to call too. Because that is a good point. Derek Carr is fighting for his job right now.
Yep.
And when Derek Carr's kind of been backed into a corner, that's when he plays his best.
Caged animal.
Yep. Literally, give me the Saints. Even though it's been looking rough, Colts to me aren't necessarily that scary. I'm convinced of myself. Give me the Saints on that one.
All right.
Desperate Derek Carr.
I am going to select Minshew Mania and the Colts, Indianapolis at home. The Colts win. The Colts win. The Colts win. I'm not sure how, but I'm going with the Colts.
Austin Norman's got to be ecstatic because I don't think the Colts this year. I don't think. Well, I guess they are 3-4.
3-4. The Colts. They're going to go up to 500. Jonathan Taylor's going to have a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Pittman's going to have a big game.
What's one thing about the Colts that they have now that really worked out with Jonathan Taylor being hurt is they got Zach Moss.
Yeah.
They got an awesome 2-man game.
Yep. I'm going Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Colts.
I should backpedal, but that's all right. I'll stick with the Saints.
All right. Should we throw out one more game and then throw it to break? Or?
Yeah, we got time for one more.
All right. We're going to go the Philadelphia Eagles at 6-1 versus the Washington Commanders at 3-4 at noon from Washington. Commander, is this still FedEx Field or did they change that name of that stadium?
We've talked about this before.
My mind is often.
I refuse to acknowledge the companies that keep changing the names of these stadiums.
All right.
It's disrespectful.
It'll always be RFK to me, even though
Exactly.
they haven't played there in 20, 30 years. All right. We're going to go Eagles Commanders. The brotherly shove versus the Hogs.
I would love to get your opinion how you stopped the brotherly shove, the tush push,
I
whatever
think
you
you
want
just
to
jump
call it.
over the top like the guy did last night, or was that Monday night?
That would have been.
It wasn't the Eagles game. It was a different game where they did it, the tush push, whatever, and he jumped over the top and grabbed him by the waist. I was like, that might be the way to do it.
Yeah. I think they just got to do an entire
Yeah.
personnel change. Like literally put 2-3 nose guards in there.
Yep.
Just find a way.
Yep.
Because they pick, it looks like they pick someone to double
You just
team,
got to get
so-
lower. So
Yeah. Well, what's your pick here?
I'm going with the Eagles.
Okay. Eagles. I'm also going to take the Eagles. I think.
Great selection. Great
Yeah.
selection.
I do want to do one more though.
All right. One more.
I haven't looked at the score yet. NBA surprise pick because this NBA season opener. So the spirit of the NBA.
Okay.
Warriors versus Suns. I haven't looked at the score. Once we give our picks here, I'll actually check what it is.
Warriors versus the Suns. I am going to select the Warriors. Who are you selecting?
I'm taking the Suns.
All right.
Oh, let's look at the score real quick.
All right.
It is.
Come on.
So real quick, the Nuggets did win. It's it's a tight one, 28-28.
Yes.
First quarter's over, heading into the second
Nice.
quarter. So maybe we'll get the answer to that one or quicker rather than the NFL. But just in case, we need a tiebreaker in there.
All right. Sounds good. Go Warriors. Klay Thompson, he was on the Manning cast last night.
Do you watch much NBA?
No.
Okay. This is a good idea for me to throw that pick in there.
Yep.
Even though this is
Yep.
like pretty
No
50-50.
clue.
All
No
right, send us
clue.
the break, Raff.
All right. We'll throw it to break. Then we'll come back and we will wrap up the wide world of Raff. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom.
Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Most parents have a homework schedule for the weekdays, but don't forget to cover the weekends. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. A good way to avoid a problem is to set a homework schedule for the weekend. Set aside a couple hours of homework time on Saturday and help your student avoid staying up late Sunday night to finish a project. Remember, communicating with your child's teacher is vital for student success.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Welcome back to the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is the wide world of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. We've talked a lot tonight, so once again, we get to the end of the show. We have about 5 games left in about 5 minutes, so we'll throw a little rapid fire for the first couple games and get it down to 3 final games. So Browns and Seahawks. Browns and Seahawks. Cleveland Browns, Seattle Seahawks.
I'm running with Seahawks.
I'm going with the Browns. Defense of the Browns. Going with the Browns. Next game, Ravens and Cardinals. Baltimore Ravens at Cardinals.
Ravens.
Will Kyler Murray make his return?
Pocket Hercules.
He's off the clock. I'm going with the Ravens also.
All right.
Okay, so now we'll move on to one of the games. We'll talk a little bit about this one just because we've been asked about it. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers at Candlestick. Not Candlestick Levi's, but it's still Candlestick for me.
Give me the 49ers. It's another team where Brock Purdy has not looked great, but he has way more evidence of staying poised. I don't think he's going to continue to spiral.
Okay.
I think he'll be poised.
So no three losses in a row for the 49ers. I'm going to shock the nation here. I'm going with Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to make a little bit of a run here. This is one of the games that's going to springboard them.
They need it. They need it bad.
And they're going to be the NFL sweetheart after this week, and then you'll see what happens next week. So I'm going with the Bengals, Cincinnati's Bengals. Now we'll move on to the next game. It's the Sunday night game. This is going to be the Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Superchargers. Sounded better when they're San Diego. Just saying. Bears, Chargers.
Give me Tyson Bagnet and the Bears. I like what I'm seeing out of it.
Bears for life.
Wow.
Bears for life. I'm going with Justin Herbert. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers, even though I can't stand calling them Los Angeles. They should always be the San Diego Chargers. They should always play in Jack Murphy Stadium.
Sounds better when they're San Diego Chargers.
Qualcomm Field. I'm going with the Chargers. Justin Herbert. Wear the powder blues. Get the victory. All right, we'll move on to the Monday night game, and then we'll move on to our final game. Monday night game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Detroit Lions. Lions completely embarrassed last week by the Ravens. They're back at home in Detroit Rock City. Lions. You've got Garoppolo versus Goff, the G-man.
Give me the Lions. I think it's a bounce back game. It seems to be the trend with the Sweethearts. They get a absolute beating and then they
come back strong. Next
recollect
week.
Themselves.
I'm going to go with Detroit Lions too. I believe Goff. I mean, they were thoroughly embarrassed, and knowing Coach Campbell and his demeanor, it's probably not been a fun week of practices in Detroit. I would say it's probably been miserable because he don't stand for that and he don't stand for those losses. So I think the Lions bounce back. And now we'll move on to the final game of the night, the game that everyone waits for. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium, even though it's not Mile High, it's in Power, but it's always been Mile High to me. Chiefs Broncos, 325, CBS. You got to think it's going to be Romo and Nance on the call, I would guess. So,
yep. I'm going to say that I don't think the Chiefs are the sweetheart like you were saying.
Yeah, they are.
I maybe to the Swifties.
Taylor Swift, sweetheart.
But to the NFL fans,
sweetheart.
I think they are.
Don't take this from me. Don't take this from me.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Sweetheart.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I do not think they're currently the NFL's sweetheart of the league.
I wait patiently for the rift. At first, I just thought it was going to be Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift. But when I saw Jackson Mahomes standing in that box behind the both of them, I said, that's the guy who's going to ruin it all. So I'm taking the Denver Broncos to finally break the 16-game streak. There will be no 17 straight victories. The Denver Broncos will win. They will run it to 3-5, and they will be making a run for a wild card spot.
The Broncos will win if Jackson Mahomes does the TikTok on the field
with Taylor Swift
and Brittany
Mahomes.
Then it's over. Then
the
Chiefs, then you're going to have some serious consequences.
Trust me, I check my social media every day going, come on, Jackson Mahomes, ruin this for everyone.
That? You probably follow him on TikTok. Like, come on, give me some.
Yeah. Little Brittany, little Taylor. Yeah.
It's, again, I'm talking about it ad nauseum. Like, when I have to hear Tony Romo give a breakdown about his performance and how Taylor Swift is involved, like, that's to me where I'm like, okay, this is cool. I get it. You can show Taylor Swift. It's for the fans that enjoy seeing her. But when we start to evaluate how that's going to impact the game, that's when I'm like, what are we
when
doing
they put up the Travis Kelce yards in games while dating Taylor Swift, and then while up to his own devices, I was like, what is going on here?
That was the key word there, to his own devices.
His own devices. What are his devices?
Are you talking about other women, or are you talking about the players?
You see, the Broncos are focused on football. They ain't worried about who they're dating. Actually, I think Sierra's about ready to have a baby, but that's details. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. This has been the Wide World of Raff on 93.7 The Ticket. We will talk to you next week. Have a great rest of your week and be nice to everybody.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro